Okay, it is officially time for the next A to Z mini reworks and my thoughts. Okay, so we got Dr. Mundo is the next target. I don't know why it took me forever to say target. So, damage is very much mixed. I will say this is true. His style. Okay, no. His damage is like slightly. It's a lot more AP than anything. Well, sort of. It's a lot more ability than anything else. Let's say that, yeah, there is AD along with it, but still. His style, I'll say, is a lot like this, though, because he does throw more abilities than anything else, but he does have a good amount of auto attacks. Difficulty is 1, without a doubt. His toughness, yes, is 3. His damage, yes, is 2. His crowd control and mobility are both 1, same with utility. But his mobility and crowd control should be 2s. Without a doubt, should be 2s. Utterly insane, unrepentantly homicidal, and horrifyingly purple, Dr. Mundo is what keeps many of Zaun's citizens indoors and on particular dark nights. The whatever the heck that word is, monstrosity seems to want nothing more than pain, both giving it and receiving of it. Wielding his massive meat cleaver as it were weightless, Mundo is infamous, not infamously, for capturing and torturing dozens of Zaun citizens for his nefarious operations, which seems to have no overall point or goal. He is brutal, he is unpredictable, he goes where he pleases, he is also not technically a doctor. That is some messed up lore. Passive, adrenaline rush. This is not how adrenaline works at all. Dr. Mundo regenerates 0.3% of his missing health each second. Dr. Mundo's infected cleaver. Dr. Mundo hurls his cleaver, dealing damage equal to a portion of his target's current health and slowing them for a short time. Dr. Mundo delights in the suffering of others, so he is returned half of the health cost when he successfully lands a cleaver, increasing to full health cost on killing blows. Burning agony. Dr. Mundo drains his health to reduce the duration of disables and deal continual damage to nearby enemies. Masochism. Dr. Mundo gains bonus attack damage based on his missing health, and his next basic attacks headbutts his target for additional damage. Passively increases magic resist whenever Dr. Mundo is dealing magic damage or pays a health cost. Or is dealt magic damage, not dealing. Sadism. Dr. Mundo sacrifices a portion of his health for increased movement speed and drastically increased health regen. This is why I would give him 2 mobility. And this ability alone is why I'd give him 2 crowd control. Even though, yes, it's only 1 crowd control ability, he spams this thing like no flipping other. And it slows for a good amount. It's like a good 50%. So once you get hit by 1, he's going to keep hitting you with more. It's dumb. Okay, so I'm going to be very blunt in the sense of he needs a full-on rework. Luckily, I do have a few ideas, sort of. So what I have currently for him is I would change him to be a bit like Gnar, but in a different sense, meaning he has 2 different forms. This would also change his lore, as I have a little bit of how his lore would change, because he's also a Zaun member. He also would mess with Piltover. So during the night at Piltover, he would be a normal human, and he would actually technically would be a doctor. He would, I don't really know how to, like, he would operate and be like a regular doctor for Zaun citizens during the night. But during the day, he would turn into Dr. Mundo, and he would go around torturing people in Zaun. Whenever he would wake up, he'd realize that he was in Dr. Mundo form, and then he'd find a way back to Piltover, like his own secret method type thing. And then whenever he turns into Dr. Mundo, the people in Piltover would kick him the heck out. And then he would go to Zaun and do his experiments like that he currently does and torture the heck out of people, but it would torture like the Zaun citizens and not the Piltover ones. So, yeah. So, basically, the way his new kit would work in a slightly different manner, such as he would spawn as Dr. Mundo, but Upon reaching a certain amount of HP, which this is how his passive would work, or like being dealt a certain amount of HP, he would turn into his other form, which we're just going to say Dr. Mun. Dr. Mun. And Dr. Mun would be more of a support-ish type character. He would keep the adrenaline. Dr. Mun would keep the adrenaline, but not as a passive, because his passive would be to transform based on his HP. And it would change his alt, so kind of like Kled, but not really. And it would not change his alt. I don't know why I said that. It would be his E, and it would be called Adrenaline Rush, and he would give either himself or another person very slight damage reduction, maybe like 10%, and give whoever he used on a increase in attack speed, like an actual adrenaline rush would be. Now, technically, an actual adrenaline rush would also give you, like, bonus strength and so on and so forth, but that's, like, whatever. This, like, attack speed would actually make sense with the game in a balancing standpoint. Besides that, he would have, like, a regular skill shot where he would shoot a syringe at people. And what this do is it would actually hit someone, and then it would stay attached to them, doing what his current Q kind of does, where it would do a percentage of their max HP. But it would do this to an extent. Like, it would, no, not to an extent. It would do it over time. Like, it would be 3 or 4 seconds that it's attached to you that it does 5% of your HP. Upon it finishing, it would drop to the ground, healing for 50% of whatever the HP it just did to whoever picks it up that's on your team. So you can run over and pick it up, and then bam. Or your ADC can run over and pick it up, and then bam. Now they got healed for 5% or for 2.5% of whatever the max HP of the person that just got hit by it is. It would not slow, though. And then his W would kind of be like a bit different. It would be like a passive in little form. So, okay, maybe that might be a little bit too much like Gnar. The reason it would be a passive is just because of like the way it would work, such as it would change auto attacks, kind of like Teemo to do a like more damage, kind of like the poison with Teemo's E, but it would just give him like a slight amount of increased damage based off of his own missing HP. Now to get into that form, he'd be missing like 50% of his HP, so there you go. And then the alt is what I really like about him. But then in Dr. Mundo's form, it would be a bit different. So when he's in his like Dr. Moon form, his abilities cost mana. But when he's in his big form, his abilities cost HP. So when he's in Dr. Mundo form. When he's in Dr. Mundo form, he will still have the Cleaver skill shot, but it will not give him back any HP upon hitting targets or anything like that. And it will not do damage based off of enemies' max HP. It would do damage based off of his own AP. And it would still slow, but there you go. His W would actually probably end up like staying what it is, which is just, like a slight burn around him. And then his E would kind of be what his R is now, but shortened to heck knows how far. Basically, he wouldn't gain extra health regen. He would sacrifice a bit of his health. So just, the activation cost of using the ability. But it would gain him bonus movement speed. And that's it. Now his alt. His alt is what I really like a good amount about him. such as it would just be called like syringe or prevention or something like that. Where basically, if he's in the little doctor form and he gets to like his percent HP, whatever, his alt would light up. Like you wouldn't even be able to use the alt otherwise. And what this would do is it would actually prevent him from going into Dr. Mundo form. It would cause him to temporarily like sustain what he is now, causing him changing his abilities to like cost health instead of mana, and that he would just like stay like that for a little while until he reached until he did like, I don't know how to describe it, because like he wouldn't regain any more HP because his abilities are costing HP now, but he would have to like either hit 60% HP, or he would just have to like run out of time of like 20 seconds or so on and so forth, before he just straight up turns into Dr. Mundo, unless he gets lower than 50% HP, which then this is where the alt's other part comes in, where he will just turn into Dr. Mundo no matter what, even after like the time limit runs out, no matter what HP he's at. Now, because he's at Dr. Mundo be below whatever HP, he'll be using his HP for his abilities. He won't really be getting anything back, and it will just be a bit of a problem. And because of that, like, you're either going to need to back or so on and so forth, because you will not return into your other form. Now, if you're Dr. Mundo and you're hitting 50% HP, and there will be like an animation for when you're transforming or when you're going to transform soon, you'll be able to use that ability. And what it will do is it'll do like a reverse effect, where it'll turn him into like a half form, where his abilities will instead cost mana instead of HP, but they'll have like slightly different effects. By that, like, his Q will still stay what it is, but like the AP, or not, I'm describing this really wrong. When he's in Dr. Mundo and he prevents himself from going to that, he would change his costs to mana regen. Or, like, he would change his costs to mana. But because of this, his, like, abilities would just be less than. Like, they wouldn't do any more damage, and, like, so on and so forth. And it would cause a adverse effect of, like, he would eventually change into his little form, but he would change into his little form until, like, the next time he backs into base. Or, like, yeah, like, until that time. Meaning, like, once however long he wants to stay in Mundo form changes, like, and he swaps over to him, even if that, like, his little form, Dr. Moon, got above 50% HP, he would stay in that form until he, like, backed, and then when he regained the HP to, like, 100%, then he turned back into Dr. Mundo. So, it's a bit of a different kit. It's not really meant to work with one another. Like, Nar's kit. Nar's kit is meant to, you're Nar, you use your Q, you use your W, and you're just hitting the heck out of people, slowly building up to Meganar. You use your E to jump into them as you're turning into Meganar, and then use your alt and your W and all your abilities to then kill them as Meganar. You're meant to weaken them as Little Nar and then kill them as Meganar. Like, your abilities go well with one another. But this one is not supposed to be like that. Basically, it's supposed to be along the line of, when you're in as Dr. Mundo, you're just trying to hit the enemy, farm, just kind of be a face tank. Be like a tank. But then, when you get to 50% HP, you're supposed to play a lot more reserved, kind of like a normal support, where you play more back, play off, like, shoot your syringe to heal others, just throw your auto attacks in with your W's, and then give someone adrenaline, or maybe even yourself, with either the hopes of getting back to Dr. Mundo, Or maybe because you'll have different scalings that'll be more focused on AP, maybe you'll just straight up kill someone. So they're not really meant to play into one another. It's just kind of be like two different play styles that can both be utilized in like a team fight. Like you can use Dr. Mundo, charge into the enemy team with like your E, with W active, throwing your cleavers, and then doing damage to everyone and everything. But then they get you to below 50% HP, and then you just run the heck away now. And then you get like to the rest of your team. You give adrenaline to your ADC. You throw a syringe out. You throw in weave in auto attacks whenever you get a chance, so you do the slight increased damage based off of their missing HP that you should have already done to them while you were in Dr. Mundo form. So they do slightly play into each other, but not in like a major way. Now, I think that like maybe the alt could be changed. It's something that I do definitely like, but the only reason I think it could be changed is because it kind of like messes with how they are currently. I was originally thinking of it being like a straight up third form, kind of like you could be Dr. Mundo, you could be Dr. Mun, and then you could be Dr. M. Where like upon using the syringe you turn into like a combination of the both of them, and like it turns your cleaver into a syringe at the same time, so it does a certain amount of HP after a time. The cleaver drops, you can go pick it up for the HP. Your W would upon being activated, your auto attacks would gain like slight increase like max missing HP damage, plus you'd have a burn around you. Your E would give adrenaline to you'd sacrifice about of your HP, but you'd also gain adrenaline, giving slight damage reduction. You'd gain movement speed, and you'd gain the other thing, and then that would be your kit. So I do like that idea too, and it could definitely still be done. The reason I chose like not to go with that originally though is because I like the way that the other one kind of like prevents you and everything, and I think that if you use your alt, you might be a bit too strong. So you definitely need to like if Riot actually did do this rework, they would definitely need to like experiment with how they'd make Dr. M, the third form from using his alt, work. And I feel like there would have to be conditions to be met, such as you'd have to be transforming to do it. Like you'd have to either be Dr. Mundo transforming to Dr. Mun, and then you can hit your W and it changes the transformation to Dr. M for like 10 seconds or something like that. So you just go the heck in time period. Or maybe longer than 10 seconds, maybe more like 20. I think that'd be better. Or, maybe you're Dr. Mun, but you pick up a syringe, or someone like a Soraka on your team heals you. And because of that, you're changing back into Dr. Mundo, so you change yourself into Dr. M, which he'll look like he's two different versions at the same time. Okay, and that is the rework that I thought for him. Now we have his skins, Dr. Mundo and a toxic Dr. Mundo. I think this one's just stupid because it's just regular Dr. Mundo, but green. That's it. Mr. Mundoverse. Yet again, I think it's just kind of dumb. But I think, that's like kind of the theme for this one. So this one, I like the fact that it is stupid. This one, I just meh. Corporate Mundo, I think this one is just, yet again, it's an okay skin. I wouldn't get it, but, Mundo is yet again an okay skin that, that's all you got. It's an okay skin. Executioner Mundo, it looks kind of menacing, but also at the same time, I'm just BDSM. Rageborn Dr. Mundo, or Rageborn Mundo. This one I'll accept. It looks like he's just an orc, or the Red Hot Chili Pepper, as I've heard it in the past. So I think it's okay, but still pretty meh. TPA, it's just regular Dr. Mundo a little bit differently, but that's just kind of how these skins are supposed to be. Pool Partied Mundo. Wow, he has a lot of skins. Which, yet again, is just regular Mundo, just in a Hawaiian shirt. El Macho Mundo is honestly, I'd say the skin that I like the least and the most at the same time. The reason I like the most is because at least it kind of gives something to him, but at the same time, I don't like the skins in general, which is why I don't really like it. So, none of really Mundo skins I would honestly get. I would just stick with his main skin if I were you, or go into the orc version. That's like the only other skin that I can even stand is that skin, his main skin, and then El Macho. Now, what skins I think he can get. Now, if you actually do the full-on rework, then I think he should also get the other skin that I can't think of the name of. I know Nar has it, so here. Super Galaxy, because Super Galaxy skins in general have like two different forms to them. So I think he'd be a good recipient for the Super Galaxy skin from like having his two different forms. Besides that, I think he could also get one of the other skins that I thought of, which is the combination skins, which is he could get like any of the combination skins. Now, the combination skins is when a champion has two different forms or two different parts to them, kind of like how the Super Galaxy works. Then you actually give him two skins in one, such as Warden and Marauder. So you could do Warden, Marauder, Mundo. You could do Super Galaxy. You could do Project and Battlecast Mundo. You could do Lancer Zero and Rogue Zero, or I think that's what they're called. Blitzcrank has both of them, so Lancer Paragon and Lancer Rogue. So you could do Lancer Mundos, but as both versions. And those are like the skins where I really think that, like, I would love to see the combination skins. Where basically, when you're in regular Dr. Mundo form, you'd be a Marauder in the Marauder vs. Warden case. But then when you're in Dr. Mun territory, you would turn into the Warden, and then you'd be a combination of the both when Dr. M. That's if you do that alt instead of the other alt that I came up with. Same with like Battlecast, you'd be Battlecast Mundo when you're actually like Dr. Mundo, but then you turn into a Project Dr. M, then you'd be a combination of the both, and Dr. M, or Dr. M instead of Dr. Mun for that would be the Project one. Something along those lines I think would be really cool. But that's just like a general skin idea that doesn't actually exist. That would just be a cool skin, I think, in general. And then also one other skin that, yet again, I'm giving him a lot of Gnar things that I think I would just like to see it kind of be like the corporate skin in a sense, Gentleman. Like Gentleman Mundo. Oh, sorry. Something hit my mic there. And that would, like, just seeing a Gentleman Mundo would be hilarious. Just have his hair combed back, have him like give him one of the tiny little top hats, not like a top hat that actually fits his whole head, just like a little one that sits on his head, that just covers like a very small portion. Give him like a full-on suit that isn't torn at all, and then make him throw like a briefcase. Basically, it would be a lot like the corporate Mundo, but because I'm pretty sure the corporate Mundo is actually about to copy everything I just said, where he'd throw like a briefcase, and then the briefcase would have like papers flinging out of it as it's thrown, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what corporate Mundo does. But like, that's how I want it to be, but we'd have to keep like his skin color purple with like the black hair. Don't make it like this one where he's like blue with the blue hair. I don't know. Like, keep him purple, make his skin completely intact, take away the needle in his back, especially because he wouldn't even have it with the full-on rework, and in, like, the other form, the top hat that would, like, otherwise wouldn't fit on Dr. Mundo, but on Dr. Mun, it would fit perfectly. It would just, like, land on his head upon the animation of him turning into Dr. Mun, and then when he's in the combination of the both of them, you can have, like, you can't see his hands or something like that when he's in Dr. M form, where like he'll turn into smaller, but like the clothes will stay bigger, so like the hat will still look a bit big, or will look a bit small, but will still be like a more reasonably sized than when he's in Dr. Mundo state. and his clothes will be like too big for him, so they'll be draggy and drafty type deal. And something like that I just think would look kind of funny and cool. Okay, and with that, I'm going to bid you all adieu. So thank you all very much for watching today's A to Z mini reworks and my thoughts. If you happen to know anyone from Riot, please inform them of the existence of this video and the A to Z series. And if you have any commentary on what I've said today, whether you agree, disagree, or anything above, please do, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So thank you very much, and I'm going to be bidding you all adieu. Goodbye!